In the year 2247, humanity had carved out a fragile existence among the stars. Vast colonies dotted distant planets, but their relationship with other civilizations was fraught with tension. The Galactic Council, an assembly of various alien races, viewed humans with suspicion, fearing their rapid technological advancements and their tendency to expand aggressively. In the heart of the human fleet, the Horizon *, a colossal warship, stood as a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. Captain Alex Morgan stood on the command deck, gazing at the enormous viewscreen displaying the swirling colors of distant nebulae. The Horizon * was more than just a ship. It was a floating fortress, bristling with advanced weaponry and defensive systems. Today marked the ship's maiden voyage, and the crew was buzzing with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "Captain," Lieutenant Sarah Chen said, her voice breaking through the hum of machinery. "All systems are operational. We're ready for departure." "Excellent," Alex replied, his heart racing. This was his moment, and he intended to make it count. "Set course for the Elysium system. Engage at warp speed." As the ship surged into motion, Alex couldn't shake the feeling of destiny pressing upon him. They had received a distress signal from the uncharted system, an unusual occurrence that could lead to humanity's first contact with an alien civilization. He knew the risks were high, but the potential rewards were greater. If they succeeded, they could pave the way for diplomatic relations that might change the course of history. Hours later, the Horizon * emerged from warp, and the Elysium system stretched out before them. A dazzling display of planets and swirling gas giants. But something was off. The signal they had followed flickered weakly on their scanners, pulsing like a heartbeat. "Lieutenant Chen, can you triangulate the source of that signal?" Alex asked, leaning closer to the console. "Working on it, Captain," she replied, her fingers dancing over the controls. "It appears to be coming from a planet in the inner system, designation Elysium IV." As they approached, the view shifted from a serene tapestry of stars to a world of rich greens and blues, with vast oceans and lush forests. But there was an unsettling quiet that enveloped the planet, a stark contrast to its vibrant appearance. "Something doesn't feel right," Alex muttered. "Prepare a shuttle for reconnaissance. I want a team ready to investigate the signal." "Sir, with all due respect, it could be a trap," warned Ensign Lucas, a tactical officer known for his cautious approach. "We don't know what we're dealing with here." "I understand the risks, Lucas, but we can't ignore a distress call," Alex replied, determination set in his eyes. "We need to know if there are survivors." Minutes later, a small shuttle descended toward Elysium IV, cutting through wispy clouds. Inside, Alex led the team, flanked by Sarah and Lucas. As they landed in a clearing, the dense foliage surrounded them, casting eerie shadows. "Stay sharp," Alex instructed. "We don't know what's waiting for us." The team disembarked, weapons drawn, scanning their surroundings. The air was thick with tension, a palpable sense that they were not alone. Suddenly, the signal blared loudly in their communicators, but it wasn't a cry for help. It was a warning. "Get back to the shuttle," Alex shouted, adrenaline surging through him. Just as they turned, a flash of movement caught his eye, a shadow darting between the trees, too quick to identify. As the team rushed back, they couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much larger story, one that could either bring humanity into the galactic fold or plunge them deeper into isolation and conflict. The team rushed back to the shuttle, hearts pounding as they navigated the dense underbrush. The foreboding silence of Elysium IV pressed around them, every rustle of leaves amplifying their unease. Alex led the way, instinctively protective of his crew. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. "Status report," he barked into his communicator as they reached the shuttle. "Engines are primed, Captain. Ready for immediate departure," Sarah replied, her voice steady despite the tension in the air. "Good. "Let's move," Alex said, glancing over his shoulder. The shadow he glimpsed earlier seemed to linger in his mind, a fleeting reminder that they were far from safe. Once aboard, the shuttle lifted off, breaking through the canopy and into the crisp air above. The lush planet below faded into a tapestry of green and blue as they gained altitude. But before they could fully relax, the communicator crackled to life. "Captain Morgan, we've detected an anomaly in the vicinity of your last position," came the voice of Lieutenant Rhea, the ship's science officer. "It appears to be emitting energy readings consistent with advanced technology. Could it be the source of the distress signal?" Alex asked, intrigue piquing his interest. "Possibly, but we need to investigate further. The energy readings are fluctuating rapidly," Rhea explained. "All right, plot a course back." "We'll check it out," Alex ordered, adrenaline rushing through him again. If this was technology, it could change everything for humanity. Minutes later, they descended again, this time near the location of the anomaly. The ground shimmered with an otherworldly glow, a stark contrast to the natural landscape surrounding it. As they landed, the team disembarked, weapons at the ready. "What do you think we're looking at?" Lucas asked, his eyes wide as they approached the source. "It looks like some kind of structure," Sarah observed, pointing to the jagged edges of what appeared to be a long-abandoned facility, half buried in the earth. Vines and foliage enveloped it, but the metallic sheen was unmistakable. Cautiously, the team approached, Alex leading them through the overgrown entrance. Inside, the air was thick with dust and the smell of aged machinery. Dim lights flickered to life as they moved deeper, illuminating strange symbols etched into the walls. "Rhea, can you analyze the symbols?" Alex requested, already feeling the weight of history around him. "I'm on it," she replied, her voice echoing slightly. "These markings, they appear to be a form of communication, but I've never seen anything like it." As they ventured further, a sudden blast of energy surged from the heart of the facility. Alarms blared, and the ground shook violently. "Get back," Alex shouted, instinctively shielding Sarah as debris fell around them. They stumbled out of the building, hearts racing as they regrouped outside. "What was that?" Lucas gasped, trying to catch his breath. "It felt like a power surge. We need to get out of here. Now," Alex urged, fear gnawing at him. They sprinted toward the shuttle, adrenaline propelling them forward. As they reached the craft, a figure emerged from the shadows. A Lyrian, tall and ethereal, with skin that shimmered like starlight. The alien's eyes were wide with a mix of fear and curiosity. "Wait," the Lyrian called, voice melodic yet urgent. "You must not leave. You've awakened something ancient." Alex's heart raced. This was their first contact, and it was nothing like he had imagined. He took a cautious step forward, raising his hands in a gesture of peace. "We mean no harm. We're here to help." The Lyrian's expression softened, but the urgency remained. "You don't understand. What lies beneath this world is beyond your comprehension. If you leave now, it will awaken in full force." The stakes had suddenly escalated, and Alex felt the weight of responsibility settle heavily upon him. This was no longer just an exploration. It was a race against time. They had to uncover the truth before it was too late. The atmosphere crackled with tension as Alex stepped closer to the Lyrian, whose shimmering presence seemed to radiate both authority and concern. "What do you mean?" Alex asked, his voice steady despite the turmoil within him. "What lies beneath?" The Lyrian, whose name was revealed to be Alira, glanced back toward the facility. "An ancient power, sealed away by my people long ago. You have disturbed it, and if it awakens, it could bring devastation not only to this planet, but to your people as well." The gravity of her words hung in the air, pressing heavily on Alex's chest. He glanced at his crew, who were equally bewildered. "What exactly are we dealing with?" Sarah asked, stepping forward. Alira hesitated, her eyes scanning the horizon as if sensing a distant threat. "It is a weapon," designed to protect this world, but capable of unimaginable destruction. If it reacts to your presence, it may awaken. Then we need to contain it, Alex asserted, his mind racing. How do we do that? Aelira's gaze intensified. First, we must communicate with it. There are protocols that can help stabilize its energy, but I cannot do it alone. I need your help. Reluctantly, Alex nodded. All right, we'll do whatever it takes. But we have to act quickly. He motioned for his team to prepare for what lay ahead. They had come seeking first contact, but now they faced an unforeseen crisis. As they entered the facility again, Aelira led them deeper into the heart of the structure. The symbols that had baffled Rhea earlier began to glow faintly, responding to the Lyrian's presence. Aelira placed her hand on the wall, and the symbols flared to life, revealing a complex sequence of images and diagrams. Here, she said, tracing a path through the symbols with her fingers. These show how to access the core of the power. We must synchronize our energy with it, but it requires trust and unity. Unity. Lucas echoed skeptically. With an alien? Yes, Aelira replied, her voice firm. Trust is essential, especially when facing the unknown. Your people have much to learn, but your potential is great. The team exchanged glances, weighing their options. Alex felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on him. We'll do it, but we need a plan. With Aelira's guidance, they formulated a strategy. They would create a harmonic resonance with the ancient power using a combination of Lyrian technology and the Horizon systems. It was a risky maneuver, but the potential consequences of failure were far graver. As they prepared, the alarms from earlier began to wail again, this time louder and more frantic. Aelira's expression darkened. It is responding to the disturbance. We must hurry. With urgency, they worked to assemble the necessary equipment. The Lyrians moved with an agility that showcased their advanced understanding of technology. Rhea and Lucas connected the ship's systems to the facility, creating a bridge between their two cultures. Ready, Sarah called out, her hands shaking slightly as she activated the final sequence. Now, Aelira commanded, placing her hands against the pulsating core at the center of the facility. The room hummed with energy as Alex joined Aelira, closing his eyes and focusing on the task at hand. As they linked their thoughts and intentions, a wave of light enveloped them, drawing the team into a shared consciousness. Images flooded Alex's mind, visions of the Lyrian civilization, flourishing under the protection of the ancient power, and moments of horror when that power had been unleashed in a time of war. He felt Aelira's presence beside him, guiding him through the memories. Focus, she urged. We must stabilize it before it's too late. Suddenly, a violent surge rocked the facility, throwing them off balance. Alex opened his eyes, determination surging through him. They were close, but the energy was growing unstable. We can't fail, he shouted, forcing himself to concentrate. We have to do this together. As the light intensified, the team united their efforts, their voices harmonizing with Aelira's, creating a symphony of energy that pulsed through the air. In that moment of unity, Alex realized that this wasn't just about saving the planet. It was about forging a bond that transcended species, a connection that could change the fate of the galaxy. The room vibrated with a resonance that echoed in Alex's bones as he and Aelira concentrated on stabilizing the ancient power. The flickering lights intensified, casting surreal shadows that danced along the walls. It was as if the very heart of Elysium IV was awakening, responding to their call for unity. Push through, Aelira urged, her voice steady amidst the chaos. We need to synchronize our energy. Alex closed his eyes, channeling every ounce of focus into the task. He could feel the energies clashing around him, an exhilarating blend of fear and purpose. In his mind, he envisioned the balance they sought, a harmony between human and Lyrian technology. Suddenly, the ground beneath them shuddered violently, and a deafening roar erupted from the core. The images in Alex's mind shifted to darker visions, flashes of destruction, of power unleashed without control. The weight of those memories pressed heavily on him. "We can't let it go this way," he shouted, the urgency in his voice cutting through the noise. "We must visualize the power contained, not unleashed." As if sensing his resolve, the energies around them began to stabilize. The chaotic flickers transformed into a steady glow, and Alex felt a rush of hope. Elira's presence beside him became a beacon, guiding him through the tumult. "Almost there," Sarah called, her voice rising above the din. "I'm adjusting the frequency." "Do it," Alex encouraged. "We're nearly synchronized." In that moment, the room exploded with brilliant light, washing over them in waves of radiant energy. Alex and Elira stood at the center, their connection igniting the very core of the ancient power. The chaos receded, replaced by a profound calm. Then, a voice resonated, not in sound, but in thought. An ancient consciousness awakening. "Who dares disturb my slumber?" The team froze, the power swirling around them as they faced this ethereal presence. Elira stepped forward, her voice steady. "We come seeking understanding. We wish to honor the legacy of the past." "Honor," the voice echoed, layered with time. "Your kind seeks power, not wisdom. You are not ready." Alex felt a surge of determination. "We're here to protect, not to conquer. We've seen what happens when power is misused. We seek to forge an alliance to prevent that from happening again." A moment of silence enveloped them as the ancient consciousness processed his words. The light dimmed slightly, and the voice responded, "You must prove your intentions. Darkness stirs on the horizon, and the Zorath Empire seeks to exploit what you have awakened." "Zorath?" Elira asked, her eyes widening. "They are coming. They hunger for dominion," the voice warned. "You must unite, or all will be lost." With urgency, Alex and Elira exchanged glances. "We need to prepare for battle," Alex said, determination igniting within him. "What can we do?" "Gather your forces," the ancient consciousness instructed. "The only way to thwart the Zorath is through unity and strength. Trust in one another." The light enveloped them once more, and Alex felt the energy shift, coalescing into a powerful protective barrier around the facility. They had succeeded, but the real challenge lay ahead. As the team regrouped, Elira's expression turned serious. "We must warn my people and prepare them for the impending threat. The Zorath are ruthless. They will stop at nothing to seize control." "Let's get back to the Horizon *," Alex said, leading the way as they retraced their steps. They entered the shuttle, hearts racing with adrenaline and purpose. "Rhea, contact the ship and prepare for immediate launch," he instructed. "We need to gather intelligence on the Zorath and mobilize our forces." As they soared back into the sky, the view of Elysium Ivy gradually receded, but instead of relief, dread settled over Alex. They had awakened an ancient power, but now they were thrust into a looming war. "Captain," Sarah interjected, breaking his thoughts, "we'll need a unified strategy to stand against the Zorath. We can't do this alone." Alex nodded, realizing the weight of his responsibility. "We'll reach out to the Galactic Council and other allies. This battle isn't just for us, it's for all who seek peace." As the shuttle made its approach to the Horizon *, Alex felt a renewed sense of purpose. They would fight, not just for survival, but to forge a new path forward. A united front against tyranny, and a beacon of hope for the galaxy. The Horizon * gleamed like a titan among the stars as Alex and his team returned aboard, their hearts pounding with the gravity of the situation. The air was thick with tension as they hurried to the command center, where screens flickered with live feeds from across the galaxy. "Rhea, I want all available intel on the Zorath Empire," Alex ordered as he settled into his command chair. "And Sarah, prepare a communication to the Galactic Council. They need to know what we're up against. On it, Captain, Sarah replied, her fingers flying over the controls. The screens filled with images of the Zoreth, warriors clad in black armor, their ships a menacing array of jagged metal and lethal firepower. Rhea's voice came through, steady and focused. The Zoreth have a significant presence in the Elysium system, but there are reports of them mobilizing in other sectors as well. They aim to consolidate their power and are known for their ruthlessness. Alex leaned forward, feeling the weight of responsibility settle upon him. What's their strategic advantage? They possess advanced weaponry and tactics that focus on overwhelming their opponents, Rhea explained. If they choose to attack Elysium IV, they will do so with force and precision. Then we must gather allies, Alex replied, determination igniting within him. We can't face them alone. As Sarah initiated the transmission to the Galactic Council, Alex strategized their next moves. The Council had been hesitant to acknowledge humanity as a formidable force, but this was their chance to prove themselves. Captain, the Council is online, Sarah announced, her voice steady but laced with urgency. On the view screen, a holographic projection of Counselor Vrel, a tall, reptilian being, flickered into view. His golden scales glistened ominously as he regarded Alex with a mixture of skepticism and curiosity. Captain Morgan, you request an audience at a critical time. What news do you bring? Counselor Vrel, we face an imminent threat from the Zoreth Empire. Alex stated, his voice resolute. They seek to exploit the ancient power we've awakened on Elysium IV. We must unite against them or risk losing everything. A murmur rippled through the council chamber, a mixture of disbelief and intrigue. Vrel's eyes narrowed. And you believe humanity is capable of leading such a coalition? Not just humanity, but all who seek peace, Alex replied, urgency seeping into his tone. If we act now, we can rally forces from across the galaxy. Together, we stand a chance against the Zoreth. Your claim is bold, Captain, Vrel said, his tone skeptical. What evidence do you have of this impending invasion? Alex exchanged glances with his crew, then pointed to the screen displaying tactical data from Rhea. We've gathered intelligence indicating Zoreth ships mobilizing near the Elysium system. Our communication with Alyra confirmed their intent to seize the power we've awakened. Vrel regarded him carefully. Very well. I will call an emergency session of the Council. But be warned. Skepticism runs deep, and some may not believe your claims. Then we will show them, Alex replied, a fire igniting in his gut. We will prepare for battle. As the transmission ended, the crew exchanged glances, the weight of their mission sinking in. What's our next step? Lucas asked, his brows furrowed in thought. We need to reach out to potential allies, Alex stated, pacing the command deck. We can't rely solely on the Council. We must contact the Carrick Alliance and the Vartini Coalition. They're both experienced fighters and may be willing to help. Agreed, Rhea said, her expression resolute. We can also leverage our relationship with the Lyrians. Alyra has knowledge of the Zoreth and could provide vital intel. Let's get to work, Alex commanded, feeling the momentum shift in their favor. As the crew began relaying messages and coordinating strategies, he sensed a camaraderie forming, a shared determination to stand against the darkness threatening their existence. Moments later, Alyra joined them on the bridge, her presence a calming force amid the brewing storm. I've spoken to my people. They are prepared to assist you in this fight, she announced, her voice steady. Thank you, Alyra. Alex replied, relief washing over him. With your help, we have a fighting chance. As the Horizon prepared for the forthcoming battle, Alex looked out at the stars, feeling a mixture of hope and dread. They were no longer just humans seeking exploration. They were warriors on the brink of a conflict that could define their place in the galaxy. And as the first light of dawn began to break over the horizon, he knew they had to be ready for whatever came next. The command deck of the Horizon buzzed with activity as the crew worked tirelessly to gather intelligence and coordinate their next moves. Holographic displays flickered with tactical data, star maps, and live feeds from various sectors. The atmosphere was charged with urgency, each member acutely aware of the stakes. "Captain, we've received a response from the Carrick Alliance," Rhea announced, her voice cutting through the murmur of the command center. "They're willing to meet us in orbit around Elysium IV to discuss a coalition." Alex felt a rush of hope. "Good. Prepare the ship for immediate departure. We can't waste any time." As the Horizon shifted course toward Elysium IV, Alyra stood beside Alex, her presence both reassuring and commanding. "The Carrick are formidable warriors. If we earn their trust, they can provide valuable support." "What do we know about their leadership?" Alex asked, intrigued. "Any insights into how to win them over?" Alyra nodded. "The Carrick value strength and honor. They respect those who demonstrate courage in battle. Show them our resolve, and they will stand by us." The shuttle launched, leaving the Horizon behind as they approached the Carrick warship, Fury of the Stars *. The vessel loomed large, its dark hull adorned with battle scars that spoke of countless victories. Alex felt a rush of adrenaline as they docked. As they stepped into the Carrick ship, they were met by a tall, imposing figure adorned in armor that glinted with the promise of combat. The leader, Commander Kale, regarded them with a steely gaze. "Human." Cal's voice rumbled like distant thunder. "You come to seek our aid against the Zorith." "Yes," Alex replied, meeting the commander's fierce gaze. "We face a common enemy. If we unite, we stand a chance against them." Kale studied him for a long moment, weighing his words. "Prove your worth in combat, and then we shall discuss an alliance." "Combat," Alex echoed, heart racing. "What do you have in mind?" Kale gestured toward a large training arena at the center of the ship, a test of strength and skill. "You will face one of my best warriors. Win, and the Carrick will consider your request." Alex exchanged glances with his crew, a mix of apprehension and determination evident in their expressions. "All right," he said, steeling himself. "I accept your challenge." As they moved to the arena, Alyra stepped closer, concern etched on her face. "Be careful, Alex. The Carrick are fierce in battle." "I know," he replied, taking a deep breath. "But this is what we need to prove ourselves." The arena was alive with the energy of warriors preparing for battle. The crowd of Carrick soldiers watched intently, their eyes reflecting a culture steeped in tradition and pride. Kale called for silence, and the crowd hushed. "Before you stands a human who seeks our alliance. He will face my champion. Let the battle begin." The arena erupted in cheers as Alex faced off against a massive Carrick warrior, his body adorned with tribal markings that told stories of past victories. The warrior grinned, revealing sharp teeth as he brandished a formidable weapon. As the battle commenced, Alex felt adrenaline surging through him. He relied on his training, every movement a blend of instinct and strategy. The Carrick warrior charged, swinging his weapon with brutal force. Alex dodged, his heart racing as he searched for an opening. He needed to show not just his skill, but also his resolve. As the fight continued, he felt the weight of his mission pressing on him. This was about more than just survival. It was about uniting forces against a greater threat. With a sudden burst of energy, Alex maneuvered behind the warrior, using a quick feint to disrupt his balance. He seized the moment, disarming the champion and sending the weapon flying. The crowd erupted into shouts of approval, but he wasn't done yet. "Yield," Alex shouted, his voice steady but firm. The Carrick warrior, breathing heavily, met his gaze. With a grunt of respect, he lowered his weapon. Kale stepped forward, a look of admiration on his face. "You have proven your worth, human. The Carrick will stand with you against the Zorith." Relief washed over Alex as the crowd cheered, a wave of solidarity washing through the arena. This was just the beginning. They had allies now, but the battle was far from over. The storm was approaching, and they had to be ready. With the Carrick warriors rallying around them, the mood aboard the Horizon shifted from one of uncertainty to cautious optimism. Alex stood at the command center, flanked by Elira and Commander Kale, both formidable leaders in their own right. The holographic display illuminated their faces as they strategized their next steps. "We have a unique opportunity," Alex began, pointing at the star map. "With Carrick forces joining us, we can create a defensive perimeter around Elysium IV. But we need to gather more allies quickly." Elira nodded. "I can reach out to my people. They trust me and will follow my lead, especially now that they've seen our commitment." Kale leaned forward, his expression fierce. "And we must also send a message to the Varteni coalition. They are skilled in diplomacy and can sway other factions to our side. They may not be warriors, but they understand the weight of an alliance." "Let's move quickly," Alex urged, the urgency of their mission clear. "Time is not on our side. We need to prepare for the worst." As the crew began coordinating communications, Elira stepped aside to contact the Lyrians. Alex watched her, admiring her poise under pressure. She was a beacon of hope for her people, and now she was becoming an integral part of this coalition. "Captain," Rie interrupted, pulling him from his thoughts. "We're receiving a transmission from the Varteni. They're willing to meet us, but they want to discuss terms first. They're cautious." "Understood," Alex replied. "Set a course for their homeworld. We need to make a compelling case for our alliance." Minutes later, the Horizon surged through the stars, headed toward the lush, green planet of Vartana. As they entered the atmosphere, the beauty of the planet unfolded beneath them, its vibrant ecosystems a stark contrast to the impending conflict. Upon landing, they were greeted by a group of Varteni diplomats, their skin glistening with a rich, iridescent hue. The leader, an elegant figure named Ambassador Lyra, stepped forward with an air of grace. "Captain Morgan," she said, her voice melodic yet firm, "we are intrigued by your request for an alliance, but you must understand, the Vartani do not rush into conflict without thorough consideration. What assurance can you provide that this alliance will be worth our while?" Alex took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "We face a grave threat from the Zorath Empire, who seek to dominate not just Elysium IV but the entire sector. If we do not unite, we risk losing everything. An alliance is not just about military strength. It's about ensuring peace for all our people." Lyra studied him for a moment, her gaze penetrating. "And what can your forces offer in return? The Varteni are known for our diplomacy and trade. How will this alliance benefit us beyond the immediate conflict? Together, we can create a stronger, more stable front," Elira interjected, stepping forward. "If the Zorath conquer our worlds, it will destabilize trade routes and threaten your people's prosperity as well. We must act now before it's too late." The ambassador considered their words, her expression thoughtful. "You speak of unity, yet I see many differences among your peoples. How will you overcome these divisions in the heat of battle?" "By recognizing that our shared goal is survival," Alex replied, feeling the fire of conviction in his chest. "We may have our differences, but united we can protect what matters most. We will stand together, not just as allies, but as friends." A tense silence hung in the air as Lyra pondered their response. The weight of the moment felt monumental. Finally, she spoke, her voice calm and measured. "Very well. We will lend our support, but we will need assurances that our people's interests will not be forgotten in this alliance." Alex nodded, relief washing over him. "You have my word. We will work together to ensure that every voice is heard and respected." As they finalized the terms, a sense of camaraderie began to take root among them. The alliance was forming, and with it came a renewed sense of purpose. The coalition would not just be a military front. It would be a union of diverse cultures, united by a common cause. As they prepared to depart Vartana, Alex felt a surge of hope. They were gathering strength, and together they would face the Zoreth. The storm was approaching, but now they would stand united, ready to fight for their worlds, their freedom, and their future. The Horizon glided through space, flanked by Carrick and Vartani vessels, a coalition forged in the crucible of necessity. Alex stood on the bridge, his heart racing as they approached Elysium IV. The tension was palpable. They were now a united front against the Zoreth Empire. "Captain," Rhea reported, her fingers flying across the controls. "We're receiving a transmission from the Zoreth fleet. They're demanding our surrender and threatening to annihilate Elysium IV if we don't comply." Typical Zoreth bravado, Kale grunted, his expression fierce. "They think they can intimidate us into submission. We will not bend to their will." Alex nodded, determination surging within him. "Prepare a response. We will not surrender. Instead, we'll show them the strength of our alliance." As the message went out, Alex turned to his crew and allies, their faces a mixture of resolve and apprehension. "This is our moment. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every world that the Zoreth threaten. Together, we can hold the line." "Ships are forming up," Sarah announced, her voice steady. "We're ready to engage on your command." "Then let's do this," Alex said, his heart pounding. "All ships, prepare for battle." The Horizon surged forward, leading the coalition into the fray. As they approached the Zoreth fleet, a vast armada of sleek, menacing ships appeared on the view screen, their dark hulls bristling with weapons. The contrast between their formidable design and the vibrant beauty of Elysium IV was striking. "Enemy ships are locking weapons," Rhea warned, her eyes wide. "They're preparing to fire. Brace for impact," Alex shouted, gripping the edge of his command chair. Explosions rocked the Horizon and alarms blared as the coalition ships engaged the Zoreth fleet. "Return fire," Alex commanded, adrenaline coursing through him. "Target their weapons systems. We need to disable their firepower before they take out our defenses." The Horizon unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, striking one of the Zoreth cruisers. The impact sent ripples through space, followed by a series of detonations that illuminated the void. The coalition ships rallied, launching their own attacks, a symphony of fire and fury as they fought back against their oppressors. As the battle raged, Alex glanced at the view screen, witnessing Carrick ships maneuvering with agility, their warriors executing daring tactics that showcased their combat prowess. Meanwhile, the Vartani focused on strategic strikes, aiming to weaken the Zoreth's tactical formations. "Commander Kale, your forces are holding strong," Alex called, a sense of pride swelling within him. "Stay vigilant, human," Kale replied, his eyes fixed on the battle. "The Zoreth will not yield easily." Suddenly, a massive Zoreth warship, larger and more intimidating than the rest, emerged from the chaos, its weapons primed and ready. "That must be their flagship," Alyra observed, her voice tense. "If we can take it down, we may demoralize their forces." "Rhea, can we get a firing solution?" Alex asked, his heart racing. "Working on it. The ship's shields are strong, but I'm adjusting our targeting systems," Rhea replied, fingers flying over her controls. As the flagship opened fire, beams of energy streaked toward them. Alex felt the impact reverberate through the ship, but they held firm. "All hands, focus fire on that flagship. We have to break through." With coordinated precision, the coalition unleashed a relentless assault, energy beams colliding with the flagship's shields. The air crackled with tension as Alex pushed the Horizon forward, determined to be at the forefront of the fight. "Shields at 50%, Rhea shouted, urgency in her tone. "Hold steady," Alex commanded. "We can't let up now." Finally, with one decisive strike, The flagship's shields flickered and failed. The coalition ships pressed their advantage, unleashing a torrent of fire that enveloped the Zorath warship. As it erupted in a fiery explosion, cheers erupted from the crew. "Victory is ours," Kale roared, pride swelling in his voice. "The Zorath will think twice before challenging us again." As the remnants of the Zorath fleet began to retreat, Alex felt a wave of relief wash over him. They had done it. The coalition had triumphed against the odds. Turning to his crew and allies, Alex said, "This victory is just the beginning. We've shown what we can achieve together. Let's ensure that our alliance remains strong and that we protect Elysium IV from any future threats." As they began to regroup, Alex looked out at the stars, knowing that the journey ahead would be challenging. But together, they were ready to face whatever the galaxy had in store, united as one.